Hey Broncos fans, welcome to Nick Gerald Stadium and week 4 of the Broncos football schedule. CIAA play continues this week at home as the Virginia Union Panthers come to town to take on the Broncos in their second CIAA matchup. This is the Pigskin PressTalk. I'm Andrew Chapman, joined by the head coach, as always, Richard Hayes. And we're joined by the main guy on the special teams unit this week as well, talking kicking. It's Elton Andrew, the lead kicker for the Broncos. And guys, let's first take a look back to this weekend. You were on the road up in Lincoln, Pennsylvania, taking on the Lions, which kind of had a new look to their group, mixed quarterback look, and you guys come away with a road victory. 19-7. Kahari Lane, coach, threw a first touchdown pass of the season for him. I got to imagine that one felt good for him after week 1 against Pembroke, where you guys won, didn't throw a touchdown. Week 2, he had to leave the game at right about halftime, and then he finally gets that passing touchdown week 3. That must have felt good for your quarterback.
Felt good to see him get it going.
Yeah.
We knew going in the game that they were going to be doing some things on their defensive side that we could take advantage of, and Kahari did a good job of taking advantage of it in that situation. Also really proud of Caden Davis and the way he played as well.
Yeah. What were some of your overall thoughts, though, from the victory, both on the offensive side and then your defense locking them down in the second half?
From an offensive perspective, I feel like we still left 3 or 4 touchdowns on the field. A couple of times we threw the ball in the end zone, and instead the receivers didn't attack the ball. They knocked it out of our hands, so we ended up kicking field goals. So we just got to correct those little mistakes, and I think we'll be fine offensively. On the defensive side of the ball, I was really proud of the effort. Held those guys to 7 points. They ran the ball really well on us, but at the end of the game, we bowled down and made plays when we had to and ended up stopping them and winning the game. Yeah,
and when you were within range, Elton was able to take it the rest of the way there, 4 for 4 in field goal attempts this week. Elton, your best game by far. You got most chances as well, and to see all 4 go through, that must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it was a really good feeling. Just seeing it go straight through the uprights as well, it was really nice.
Yeah. Once you make the first couple, is that where you kind of say, okay, I've found my touch for the day, help carry you the rest of the way?
Yeah, I'd say like about after the second one, it was just like however many I was going to get is however many I was going to make. So it was a really good feeling to be tapped in like that.
You have to be pretty confident knowing you have a quarterback like Kahari Lane that does a good job of moving the ball in between the 20s, and plus a mixed run game, a lot of good wide receiver talent that can, most drives, try and get you within range. So you're probably, I imagine, always ready on the sideline with those guys out on the field.
Always excited for it as well.
Probably a good turnaround for you, too. I know there was, of course, a windy, rainy game in week 2. Week 1, everybody was still kind of figuring it out as the season got going. But you go week 3 and you go perfect 4 for 4, and then you go out and win the CIAA Special Teams Player of the Week as well. That's a nice reward to take home, I'd imagine.
Yes, sir.
The Virginia Union team that's coming into town this week, Coach, is a team that has the most scoring so far over the first few weeks. They ran up the score on one opponent, 77-0 over the first week. But you guys have played a challenging preseason schedule as well against Pembroke and Wingate. How do you think those challenges in the early part of the season have prepared you to take on a Virginia Union team that right now is one of the front runners in the CIAA?
I don't think the challenge gets any easier. Like I said, we've played 3 very physical football games the last 3 weeks, and we're going to play another one here in week 4. Virginia Union is a very, very physical football team, and we're going to have to bow up and strap up and be ready to go because they're coming.
Yeah, one of the things they've done really well is run the ball, close to 300 yards rushing a game right now coming into this matchup with you guys. So that's going to probably stress the D-line, I'd imagine, quite a bit, and a lot of the battle will be down low.
Definitely in the trenches, they have a power eye running game. That's the staple for Coach Parker. He's done a great job in his tenure at Virginia Union. He did it when he was at St. Aug. He did it when he was at Elizabeth City. So I'm really familiar with the style of running and the running game that he wants to bring to the table. We're just going to have to stop it. We know it's coming. We're going to have to stop it.
Yeah. Elton, going into these home games, what's kind of your routine before you get going? It feels like kicking is one of those very routine type of things in football compared to any other position. You got to do everything the same way each time you go out there. So what's your pregame routine like before these big home games?
I don't really have anything too extravagant. I'm starting to take in a new thing by going to the training room because I'm getting pretty old. So I need to get a little lubricated and stretched out. So that's been helping a lot, going to the training room. And then regular stuff like doing no steps 5 yards out, 1 steps on the upright, and then going to full steps, just making sure I'm feeling good before the game so I can have the confidence bringing it into the game.
That's when you're out there on the field, right? When you're getting ready to,
Yes,
to
sir.
take
Other
that
than
kick.
that, I don't really have any pregame rituals. Talk to Jake, have a good time, and focus in. That's about it.
What's the relationship like between you and Jacob Young? He's been doing great. Punt the ball this year for the Broncos, pinning opponents deep in their own territory. But you rely on him heavily. That's your placeholder there. And so how's that relationship like on and off the field for you guys?
It's a great relationship. He's my best friend. So, I mean, we're going to CC's Pizza after this.
Is that right?
That's going to be pretty nice.
Is that right? If he ever doesn't hold it quite right or gives you the laces on a kick, what's that conversation
That's
like
just
afterwards?
a little private conversation we have to have. But I know 100% of the time it's going to be a perfect hold. He's really consistent. I've never had a holder so consistent.
Yeah, consistent with holding, consistent with putting. This weekend it's the Military Appreciation Game, Elton, and I know you're involved with ROTC here on campus, and I was hoping you could tell us a little bit more about your background with that and what got you involved with that as well as football and how you kind of balance the two.
Yes, sir. So both of my parents are in the Army, so that was one of those things. About just all of my family was in the Army, and my parents told me basically if I want to fly fixed wing because I'm going to be a pilot, so I decided to do the Air Force, and then I figured out there was something called ROTC. So I joined that, talked to Coach. Coach lets me have a pretty flexible schedule. Pretty much if I do what I'm supposed to do here, I can do what I'm supposed to do there, and it works really well together. So Deputy Group Commander this semester for over there, and we have about 40 people in the detachment. It's a really good program, and they take care of us all around.
Well, it's a great chance to obviously honor all of our active military members this weekend out at Nick Gerald Stadium, veterans as well. So make sure you come on out. And Coach, what are a couple of the keys to this matchup coming up against Virginia Union? I know we just talked about the battle down low, trying to stall out their run game, but what are you more looking towards just out of your group specifically in this one?
I'm looking for us to be a little bit more consistent on offense, establish the run, being able to, dink and dunk the ball around the field. Defensively, we're going to have to tackle well. Like I always say, we're going to have to get off the field on third down, and special teams is going to be a big key for us this week.
So first, the kickoff is at 4 o'clock right here at Nick Gerald Stadium. Again, come on out, represent the Broncos. We got a couple of straight weekends of football homecoming next week as well against Chuan. But first up is the matchup against Virginia Union, 4 o'clock, Nick Gerald Stadium. For Andrew Chapman, kicker Elton Andrew, head coach Richard Hayes, this has been the Pigskin Press Talk. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.